What's happening, party people? We are back once again with the final breakdown I'm going to do on the series of music videos I shot for Jessica Lowndes. There are 8 different parts that are all part of one long 11-minute album teaser we shot for her. I've broken down a few of the parts already. If you want to see those, you can click the links in the description, or I'll put some cards up above. So go check those out once you're done watching this. Today I wanted to break down the final music video that's at the end of the album teaser. That's this big party scene. Now for context, if you haven't seen the other breakdowns I've done for this series, we were shooting 8 different mini music videos inside of 2.5 days. So the looks were all different, the locations were all different, and we had to move really quickly. This segment in particular was shot at the very end of one of our days, so we were pretty limited on time and had to pretty much light the scene to be ready to shoot anywhere. We had a whole shot list going in, but unfortunately we had to resort to sort of a montage-y way of shooting it, in that we just played the song and I ran around with a camera in the crowd and got various shots of our main talent as well as all of the extras living it up, partying it up, and everything. With that in mind, we had to light 360 for the scene. We had limited time to light, and I had to make sure it looked good all around. So how do you even approach lighting a scene 360, let alone a party scene? Now, typically I hate lighting 360. It never looks quite as good as lighting for a dedicated shot, but sometimes as a DP, you're caught in these scenarios where you simply don't have time and have to do that. The things I had going for me in this case was that this is a party scene. So introducing color was something we had planned on doing anyway, but that really helped add dimensionality to a shot that might otherwise look pretty flat if you were lighting 360 with just a daylight or tungsten source, for example. Now, I can't play the actual music that's in the video, but I'll leave links to it down below. But if you like the music that's played over the B-roll and behind the scenes here, you can click the link down below as well to check out Artlist, who provides all the music for all these videos. They're not sponsoring this video or anything, but they've just supported the channel for a while, and I paid for the service for a long time before I became an affiliate for them. So when I approach lighting 360, especially in a big environment like this, you have to make sure you have enough lights to fill the space. There were 3 main lighting elements I used to make this setup happen, with some extra little sauce sprinkled on top. Firstly, we have the key light, which was a Sky Panel S60. I was hoping to set up a 6x to blast this through, but again, just because we ran out of time, we ended up just putting the Chimera softbox back onto this and making it sort of this tungsten orangey feel. This was backed up a decent amount of the room and just blasted to have a general wash over the scene and lift the light levels in the room. The second element that we played with was a whole bunch of Astera tubes. The kit comes with 8 different tubes in it, and I believe we actually used all of them for this scene. Fortunately for us, we had these big pillars on the roof of this location, so I taped 2 on each side of the dance floor, all set to this nice blue color to provide some dance-looking lighting. Keeping the color contrast in mind, having that sort of orangey tungsten feel with the blue already helps elevate the look and add some contrast when there might not have been when you're normally shooting 360. If you can't access traditional contrast in terms of the light levels, using color contrast can be a great way to create that to make the eye perceive it in a similar fashion. We had another 2 Astera tubes on the side corners of the room, hidden by the pillars, and those were set to a more green feel. Again, just leaning into this very party vibe of having greens, having reds, having oranges, having blues all over. Made it feel like very alive and very dance floor-esque. The Asteras on the either side of the room also lit up these nice little tinsel pieces that the production designers had set up, which looked really nice on camera. I'm really happy with the final frames that came out from those little segments. I also think the color contrast and the way the color bounces off the tinsel looks really nice to the eye. And then the final third setup we had was this big disco ball in the middle, which we were blasting a Aperture 600X into from far back, just with a spotlight mount on it. This just made it feel more dynamic with the lights spinning around the room as the disco ball rotated, which is great. In the previous video in this series, I talked about working with a production designer, and again, they really helped elevate the scene and bring it to the next level. So the fourth and final sort of secret sauce thing that I did when lighting this was adding a bunch of Aperture MCs around the scene. We put these everywhere, from inside little globes to taped behind chairs, inside a little bar, on the desk where the DJs were playing. I think we used every Aperture MC we had in the kit and just threw them all around, all different colors, wherever we could fit them. The beauty of them is because they are so small, you can just gaff tape them anywhere. They have magnets on the back, so you can magnetize them to stands or anything that has metal in it. They're super convenient. This again just helped film the room, and because of the style of filming that we were approaching this with, which was just me running around with a camera and the director calling out different shots or beats of where I should go and what moments we want to capture, allowed us to keep rolling for the whole length of the song and just capture all of these little B-roll moments that are then cut together into the final piece that you see. While again, this is maybe not the recipe for the absolute best individual image you could get if you had set up every shot, oftentimes as DPs, as cinematographers, our role is not to capture the most beautiful image, but to capture the most beautiful image within set parameters. So whether that's you running out of time, whether that's you not having enough lights or enough crew to set up enough lights, you have to make those choices and compromises that are going to deliver the best possible image inside of the parameters of the budget and the production that you're working in. That to me is what makes a really good cinematographer, is somebody who can do that within the parameters that they're given. Obviously, if you have a $200 million budget, you have access to things that you might not have with a $20,000 budget, for example. But no matter what you're doing, you still have to problem solve within the parameters, or whether it's you're chasing the light, running out of time, or only have certain resources, you have to decide what the best avenue is to go in. I'm really happy with how this turned out, given the parameters that we had to work within. I think it looks really good. The artist was very happy with it, and that's all you can really hope for at the end of the day. For you camera nerds out there that are curious what we shot this on, we shot on the red Komodo with the Atlas Orion series anamorphics and some element filters, which is my own company. Check them out in the link in the description below if you're interested in getting some filtration and if you appreciate the value and information that goes into these videos. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.